let me ask you something unusual before we begin. Right now, as you're listening to my voice, what language are you thinking in?
Oh, wow. I already feel exposed. Because honestly, I'm probably translating in my head.
Exactly. And here's the surprising part. Most English learners don't realize they're doing it. They listen in English, translate into their native language, understand the idea, and then translate back into English when they speak.
Which explains why speaking feels slow and stressful, right? Like your brain is buffering.
Yes, it's like trying to have a live conversation while secretly reading subtitles inside your mind. Exhausting. And today's episode on Talk Easy Daily is going to test something fascinating.
Wait, test?
Yes. By the end of this podcast, you'll discover whether you can actually think in English while listening. Not later, not after practice, but right now.
That sounds scary and exciting at the same time.
Good. Because here's the challenge for you listening. For the next few minutes, don't translate anything. Just follow the meaning. If your brain tries to switch languages, gently bring it back.
So this isn't just a podcast. It's like a live training session happening inside our minds?
Exactly. And if you stay until the end, something very interesting will happen. You'll notice English starting to feel automatic.
Okay, now I'm curious. And if you're listening right now, I want you to comment later and tell us the exact moment your brain stopped translating. I'm genuinely wondering if everyone experiences the same shift.
Perfect question. Because today we'll uncover why thinking in English feels impossible at first, what your brain is secretly doing when you listen, and the simple mental switch that advanced speakers use without realizing it.
And I have a feeling some myths are about to be destroyed.
Oh, definitely. In fact, the biggest advice most learners hear about thinking in English is completely wrong.
Now you have to explain that.
We will. But first, let's make one agreement with everyone listening. For this episode, you are not studying English.
Wait, what?
You are experiencing English. There's a difference. Studying makes your brain analyze. Experiencing makes your brain absorb.
That already feels lighter, like less pressure.
Exactly. Because language isn't built through pressure. It's built through repeated understanding. Think about how you learned your first language. Nobody handed you grammar rules when you were 2 years old.
True. No baby ever said, "Excuse me, I need to review verb tenses before speaking."
And yet, you became fluent. Not by translating, but by connecting sounds directly to meaning.
So today we're basically retraining our brains to do what they already know how to do?
That's the idea. And here's something important for you listening. If at any moment you miss a word, don't panic. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is flow.
I love that. Focus on flow, not perfection. Honestly, I think many listeners needed to hear that today.
And here's a quick experiment. Right now, look around you, wherever you are, and silently name 3 objects in English.
Oh, I just did that automatically.
Exactly. No translation, right?
Wait, you're right. I didn't translate first.
Which means your brain already can think in English. The ability exists. We just need to strengthen it.
Okay, now I'm hooked. Because if we already have the ability, then what's actually blocking us?
That question leads us to the first big discovery, the hidden habit that forces your brain to translate even when you don't need to. And once you notice it, you can never unsee it.
All right, I'm ready. And if you're listening, stay with us, because what Alex is about to explain might completely change how you listen to English from today onward.
All right, Emma, let's reveal the hidden habit that secretly forces most English learners to translate in their heads.
I'm ready, because I feel like my brain automatically switches languages without asking my permission.
That's exactly what happens, and the habit is this. Your brain is trained to treat English like a puzzle instead of a message.
A puzzle?
Yes, think about how many learners study English. They hear a sentence and immediately start analyzing every piece. What does that word mean? Which tense is that? Is that grammar correct?
Oh no, I do that all the time.
And you're not alone. Millions of learners do the same thing. But here's the problem. Analysis is slow, while conversation is fast.
So by the time I finish analyzing one sentence, the speaker has already said 3 more.
Exactly. And then your brain panics.
Which is when the translating begins.
Right, because translation feels safer. Your brain thinks, if I convert this into my native language, I'll understand it better.
But ironically, that's what slows everything down.
Precisely. Imagine watching a soccer match while someone pauses the game after every pass to explain the rules.
That would ruin the whole experience.
Language works the same way. Fluency comes from continuous meaning, not constant analysis.
So the real skill is learning to follow the message instead of dissecting the sentence.
Exactly. And here's a quick challenge for everyone listening right now. For the next few moments, don't focus on individual words. Just follow the story of what we're saying.
Almost like watching a movie in English.
Perfect comparison. When you watch a movie, you don't pause every sentence to check vocabulary. You let the story carry you forward.
That's actually true. When I'm really interested in a movie, I stop worrying about every word.
And that's when your brain starts processing English naturally.
So interest and curiosity are secretly powerful learning tools.
Very powerful. In fact, there's a fascinating pattern researchers often notice with language learners.
Oh, I love brain science moments. Tell me.
When learners focus on understanding the idea, their comprehension improves dramatically, even if they don't know every word.
Wait, really?
Yes, because the human brain is incredibly good at predicting meaning from context.
Like when someone says, I was so hungry I could eat and you already know the sentence will end with something like horse.
Exactly. You didn't translate anything. You predicted the meaning.
That actually feels like magic when it happens.
It feels like magic, but it's actually a skill your brain uses every day in your native language.
So thinking in English is less about vocabulary and more about trusting context.
That's a huge part of it. And here's a question for everyone listening. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you understand English perfectly, but you struggle to respond quickly?
Oh, yes, that's the worst feeling. You understand everything, but when it's your turn to speak, your mind goes blank.
That happens because understanding and speaking use different mental processes.
So even if comprehension improves first, speaking might take a little longer to catch up.
Exactly. But here's the encouraging news. When you stop translating while listening, you're actually preparing your brain to speak faster later.
That makes sense. If the message goes straight from English into meaning, then speaking becomes more automatic.
You've got it. It's like building a direct highway between English and your thoughts.
Instead of taking a long detour through your native language.
Perfect analogy.
Okay, I want to try something with our listeners.
Go for it.
If you are listening right now, think about this question. What did you eat for breakfast today?
Interesting exercise.
But here's the important part. Answer the question in English inside your mind.
And don't translate first.
Just picture the food and say the words directly in English.
Toast, coffee, eggs, maybe fruit.
See? That was surprisingly easy, right?
Because thinking about real-life experiences makes language more natural.
Which means daily thoughts are perfect training material.
Exactly. If you start describing small moments of your day in English, even silently, your brain gradually becomes comfortable thinking that way.
Like narrating your life in English.
Yes, I'm opening the door. I'm making coffee. I need to send this email.
That actually sounds like a fun challenge.
And it works because it removes pressure. You're not performing for anyone.
It's just you and your thoughts.
Exactly. And here's something surprising. Many advanced English speakers developed this habit without realizing it.
Really?
Yes, they started using English internally long before they felt confident speaking it publicly.
That's fascinating. So the real transformation happens quietly inside the mind first.
Precisely.
Okay, I'm curious about something now.
What's that?
Is there a moment when learners suddenly realize they're thinking in English?
Great question, and the answer is yes, but it usually happens unexpectedly.
Unexpectedly?
One day, you'll react to something. Maybe you're watching a video or listening to a podcast, and you'll laugh at a joke before translating it.
That would be an amazing moment.
It really is, because humor is one of the last barriers in language comprehension.
So if you understand a joke instantly, that means your brain is processing English directly.
Exactly. And when that happens, you'll notice something interesting.
What?
English stops feeling like a subject and starts feeling like a tool.
That's a powerful shift.
It's the moment language becomes part of your thinking process.
I feel like a lot of listeners are probably wondering right now, how long does that transformation take?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Definitely.
And the honest answer might surprise you because it has less to do with time and more to do with how you practice listening.
Which means some learners accidentally delay this breakthrough for years.
Exactly. But others experience it much sooner once they change a few key habits.
Okay, now you've created a serious curiosity gap.
Good.
Because I want to know what those habits are.
In the next part of our conversation, we're going to reveal the first listening mistake that silently prevents learners from thinking in English, even if they listen every day.
Oh, wow, that sounds important.
It is, and once you notice it, you'll never listen to English the same way again.
If you're enjoying this conversation so far, take a second to like the video and subscribe to Talk Easy Daily so you don't miss the rest of this episode.
And more importantly, stay with us because the next discovery might completely change how your brain listens to English from today forward.
All right. Let's talk about the first listening mistake that secretly blocks your ability to think in English.
I'm nervous already because I feel like I probably do it.
Most learners do, and the mistake is this: trying to understand every single word.
Oh no, that's definitely me.
And honestly, it sounds logical. If you want to understand English, you should understand the words, right?
Exactly, that's what I always thought.
But here's the surprising reality. Native speakers don't understand every single word either.
Wait, what?
It's true. When people speak quickly, we miss words all the time, but our brain fills the gaps using context.
So understanding English is more like seeing the whole picture instead of counting every pixel.
Perfect metaphor. Imagine looking at a painting. If you focus on one tiny corner, you miss the entire image.
That explains why some learners get stuck on one unfamiliar word and suddenly the whole sentence disappears.
Exactly. Your brain stops following the story and starts searching for the missing piece.
And by the time you find it, the conversation has moved on.
Right. So here's a powerful mental shift. Instead of asking, "What does this word mean?" ask, "What is the speaker trying to say?"
That changes everything.
Let's demonstrate something interesting for our listeners.
I love experiments.
Listen to this sentence. Yesterday, I went to a restaurant and ordered a dish I had never tried before. At first, I was a little nervous, but after the first bite, I realized it was absolutely delicious.
That made me hungry.
But here's the key question for everyone listening. Did you understand the story?
I definitely did.
Even if you didn't know every word?
Exactly. The meaning was clear.
That's how real listening works. Your brain gathers clues: restaurant, dish, nervous, first bite, delicious.
And suddenly the entire situation appears in your mind like a small movie.
That's the secret. Fluent listeners build mental images, not translations.
Oh, wow, I never thought about that.
Think about your native language. When someone tells you a story, do you see words or images?
Images, always images.
And the same ability can develop in English.
So instead of translating sentences, we should be visualizing them.
Exactly. Visualization creates a direct connection between English and meaning.
Which is the whole goal of thinking in English.
Right. Now, let me ask you something, Emma.
Okay.
Have you ever had a moment when you understood a full English conversation, but later you couldn't remember the exact words?
Yes, that happens all the time.
And that's actually a good sign.
Really?
Yes, because it means your brain focused on meaning rather than memorizing language pieces.
So the message stayed, but the words disappeared.
Exactly, and that's how natural communication works.
I feel like a lot of listeners just felt relieved hearing that.
I hope so, because perfectionism is one of the biggest enemies of fluency.
I think many people feel embarrassed if they miss a word.
But missing words is completely normal. Even native speakers ask each other to repeat things.
That's true. I've heard people say, "Sorry, what was that?" many times.
Exactly. Communication isn't about perfect hearing. It's about shared understanding.
I love that perspective.
And here's another quick test for everyone listening right now.
Oh, another challenge?
Yes. Think about the last movie you watched in English.
Okay.
Did you understand every single word spoken by every character?
Definitely not.
But did you understand the story?
Yes.
That proves something important. Your brain already knows how to follow meaning without perfect vocabulary.
So the problem isn't ability, it's mindset.
Exactly.
This is making me rethink how I listen to English completely.
Good, because in a moment, we're going to reveal a simple daily habit that trains your brain to think in English much faster than most traditional study methods.
Now I'm definitely curious.
And it's something you can practice anywhere, while walking, cooking, commuting, or even brushing your teeth.
That sounds almost too easy.
The best learning methods often are.
All right, listeners, quick pause. If something in this conversation just made you realize why listening has been difficult, tell us in the comments.
Yes, we'd love to know, what's the hardest part about understanding spoken English for you?
Is it speed, vocabulary, accents?
Your answer might actually help other learners realize they're not alone.
And if this podcast is helping you practice thinking in English right now, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Talk Easy Daily.
Because the next idea we're about to explore might be the most powerful mental training technique in this entire episode.
Now you've definitely got my attention.
Good, because what you're about to learn is the habit many fluent English speakers developed without ever realizing they were doing it. All right, let's reveal the daily habit that quietly trains your brain to think in English.
I've been waiting for this one.
And the funny thing is, it sounds almost too simple when you first hear it.
Those are always the best tricks.
The habit is called micro-thinking in English.
Micro-thinking? That sounds interesting.
It simply means thinking in very small English phrases throughout your day instead of trying to form long, perfect sentences.
Oh, that already sounds less stressful.
Exactly. Most learners make the mistake of trying to think in full, complex sentences.
Like giving a speech inside their head.
Right. And when your brain can't find the perfect grammar or vocabulary, it panics and switches back to your native language.
Which restarts the translation cycle again.
Yes, but micro-thinking changes the rules. Instead of long sentences, you use short bursts of English.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Imagine you're walking into your kitchen in the morning.
Okay.
Your thoughts might sound like this. Coffee first. Need breakfast. Where's my mug?
Oh, wow, those are tiny thoughts.
Exactly. And that's how real thinking works. Even in your native language, your thoughts are often short and incomplete.
That's true. My brain rarely speaks in perfect grammar.
And that's the key insight. Thinking in English doesn't require perfect sentences.
It just requires quick meaning.
Right. The goal is speed and familiarity, not perfection.
I feel like this removes so much pressure.
It does, because now English becomes part of your everyday thinking instead of a special activity you only do during study time.
That's actually powerful. It means practice can happen anywhere.
Exactly. While you're waiting for the bus, walking to class, making dinner, or even scrolling on your phone.
Your brain is quietly building English connections.
Yes, and over time, those small connections become automatic thoughts.
So one day, you might suddenly think something in English without even noticing.
That's usually how it happens.
I imagine that moment feels amazing.
It really does. Many learners describe it as a surprising realization.
Like, wait, did I just think that in English?
Exactly.
I want to try a quick exercise with our listeners.
Great idea.
If you're listening right now, look around wherever you are.
Maybe you're at home, outside, or commuting somewhere.
Now, silently describe 3 things you see using very simple English.
Example, blue car, tall building, bright light.
Notice how fast that happened.
And notice something else. You probably didn't translate first,
Your brain jumped straight to English words.
which proves something important. Your mind is already capable of micro-thinking in English.
We just need to do it more often.
Exactly. Consistency is the secret ingredient.
Okay, but I have a question that many listeners might be thinking right now.
Go ahead.
What happens when you don't know the English word for something?
Great question. And the answer is surprisingly simple.
I'm listening.
If you don't know the word, describe the idea instead.
Like explaining around the word?
Exactly. Let's say you forget the word refrigerator.
That happens to me sometimes.
Your brain could think, the cold food box.
That actually works.
And it keeps your thoughts in English instead of switching languages.
So you're training your brain to stay inside English, even when vocabulary is missing.
Precisely. And something interesting happens when you do this repeatedly.
What?
Your brain becomes more flexible with language.
Meaning you become better at expressing ideas even with limited vocabulary.
Yes, and that flexibility is one of the biggest signs of real fluency.
Because fluent speakers don't stop speaking when they forget a word.
They adapt.
I love that mindset shift.
And here's another surprising truth many learners don't realize.
Tell me.
Some advanced English speakers still don't know extremely advanced vocabulary.
Really?
Yes, but they're excellent at explaining ideas using the words they do know.
That actually makes fluency feel much more achievable.
Exactly. Fluency isn't about knowing every word, it's about communicating ideas smoothly.
I feel like a lot of people needed to hear that today.
Definitely.
But let me ask something personal, though.
Sure.
When did you realize you were thinking in another language automatically?
Interesting question. For many people, the moment comes when they start dreaming in that language.
Oh, wow.
So if English appears in your dreams, it means your mind has fully accepted it as part of its thinking system.
That's incredible.
And here's something for our listeners to watch for.
I'm curious.
The first sign isn't often dreaming, it's emotional reactions.
Emotional reactions?
Yes. For example, you hear a funny English joke and you laugh instantly.
Before translating it?
Exactly. Or someone says something surprising and you react immediately.
All right, Emma, let's talk about the habit most learners already practice every day, but in a way that accidentally slows their progress.
I'm almost scared to hear this because I feel like I'm about to realize I've been doing something wrong for years.
Don't worry, it's extremely common. And the habit is how people listen to English content.
Wait, listening itself can be wrong?
Not wrong, but often inefficient. Many learners listen to podcasts, videos, or movies like this. They play it once, try to understand everything, feel frustrated, and then stop.
Oh no, that's exactly what I used to do.
The problem is that the brain learns patterns through repetition, not through one perfect listening attempt.
So listening once is like visiting a new city for 5 minutes and expecting to know all the streets.
That's a fantastic analogy. You might recognize a few landmarks, but you won't truly understand the place.
So what should listeners do instead?
Use something I call the 3-pass listening method.
That sounds structured. I like it already.
The idea is simple. You listen to the same piece of English 3 times, but each time with a different focus.
Okay, now I'm curious how that works.
The first time, you listen only for the general idea.
No pausing, no translating?
Exactly. Just follow the story or conversation.
That actually feels relaxing compared to studying every word.
That's intentional. The first pass trains your brain to understand meaning from context.
Okay, what happens in the second pass?
The second time you listen, you focus on interesting words or phrases you notice.
Not every word, just the ones that stand out.
Right. Maybe you hear a phrase like, "that reminds me of," or "the funny thing is."
Phrases people actually use in conversation.
Exactly. Your brain begins recognizing useful language patterns.
And the third pass?
The third time, you listen for rhythm and flow.
Rhythm.
Yes, how sentences move, where speakers pause, how their voice rises or falls.
Oh, like the music of the language.
Perfect description. Every language has its own melody.
And understanding that melody probably makes listening easier.
It does. Because fluent listening isn't just about vocabulary, it's about recognizing patterns of sound.
That explains why sometimes you know all the words but still struggle to follow fast speech.
Exactly. Your brain hasn't fully learned the rhythm yet.
This 3-pass method actually sounds like training your brain step by step.
That's the idea. Instead of overwhelming your brain with everything at once, you guide it gradually.
I feel like this approach could make listening much less stressful.
It really does. And here's something interesting for our listeners to think about.
I'm listening.
Have you ever listened to a song many times and suddenly understood lyrics that confused you before?
Yes, that happens all the time.
That's repetition working its magic.
So the brain keeps collecting clues every time it hears the same sounds.
Exactly. And eventually the pattern becomes clear.
That's such a reassuring idea. Understanding can grow naturally over time.
Absolutely. And this connects to a deeper truth about thinking in English.
Which is...
That thinking in English is not something you force, it's something that emerges naturally when understanding becomes fast enough.
So once the brain processes meaning quickly, translation disappears automatically.
Precisely.
I feel like listeners might be experiencing something like that right now during this conversation.
That's actually very possible.
Because we've been talking for quite a while now, and if someone has been following the discussion, their brain might already be staying inside English.
Exactly. And here's a quick reflection question for everyone listening.
Oh, I like these.
Ask yourself honestly, during the last few minutes, were you translating every sentence or simply understanding the conversation?
If the conversation just flowed naturally for you, that's a really good sign.
It means your brain is practicing direct comprehension.
Which is the foundation of thinking in English.
Right.
But Alex, I'm curious about something deeper now.
Go ahead.
Why does the brain resist thinking in another language at first?
That's a fascinating question, and the answer involves something psychologists call mental efficiency.
That already sounds interesting.
Your brain always chooses the path that requires the least effort.
Which is usually your native language.
Exactly. Your native language has been practiced thousands of times since childhood.
So it's like a superhighway in the brain.
Yes, while English at first is more like a small dirt road.
So translation happens because the brain jumps onto the faster road.
Precisely.
But the more we think in English,
The wider and smoother that English road becomes.
until eventually it becomes another highway.
Exactly.
That's such a powerful mental image.
And here's the encouraging part. Every time you listen to English and understand meaning directly, you're expanding that road.
Even if progress feels slow.
Yes, the brain is always adapting quietly in the background.
That makes me wonder about something.
What's that?
Are there signs that someone is getting close to thinking in English naturally?
There definitely are.
Really?
Yes, and some of them are surprisingly small but very meaningful.
Now I'm curious again.
In the next part of our conversation, we're going to explore the 5 subtle signs that your brain is starting to think in English, even if you don't realize it yet.
Oh, that's exciting.
Because some listeners might already be experiencing these signs without noticing.
If you're enjoying this conversation so far, remember to like the video and subscribe to Talk Easy Daily so you don't miss future episodes like this.
And stay with us, because what we're about to discuss might finally explain why speaking feels harder than listening, even when your English is improving. All right, this next part is one of my favorites, because many learners are already improving without realizing it.
I love that idea. Progress happening secretly.
Exactly. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 subtle signs that your brain is starting to think in English.
So even if someone feels stuck, they might actually be moving forward.
Very likely. Progress in language learning is often invisible before it becomes obvious.
Okay, I'm ready for sign number 1.
The first sign is simple but powerful. You stop translating short phrases automatically.
Like when someone says, "How's it going?" and you instantly understand the feeling instead of translating each word.
Perfect example. Your brain recognizes the phrase as one unit of meaning.
Almost like a single mental picture instead of 3 separate words.
Exactly. Language starts becoming chunks instead of pieces.
That explains why some expressions suddenly feel natural after hearing them many times.
Yes, repetition turns language into instinct.
So if listeners notice certain phrases feel automatic now, that's actually a milestone.
A big one. And here's a question for everyone listening. Are there English phrases you understand instantly without effort?
If yes, congratulations. Your brain's already building direct English connections.
Now let's move to sign number 2.
I'm curious.
You react emotionally to English before translating.
Like laughing at a joke immediately?
Exactly. Or feeling surprised, excited, or even annoyed by something said in English.
That means meaning reached your emotions directly.
Right. Emotion happens in understanding. Translation happens in logic.
Wow, that's deep.
Think about it. Emotions are fast. Translation is slow.
So if emotion comes first, English is bypassing translation completely.
Precisely.
Okay, that one feels really exciting.
Good. Because sign number 3 is even more surprising.
Tell me.
You forget words in your native language while thinking about English topics.
Wait, that happens sometimes and it scares people.
Yes, many learners worry when this happens, but it's actually a positive sign.
Really?
It means your brain temporarily switched operating systems.
Like changing apps on your phone.
Exactly. Your mind is prioritizing English in that moment.
So forgetting a word isn't failure, it's adaptation.
Correct.
I feel like that will relieve a lot of listeners.
I hope so, because language growth often feels strange before it feels comfortable.
All right, what's sign number 4?
The fourth sign is you start predicting what someone will say next in English.
Oh, like finishing someone's sentence mentally?
Yes, or knowing the ending of a phrase before it's spoken.
That happens when patterns become familiar,
Exactly. Prediction is a hallmark of fluency.
because your brain understands structure, not just vocabulary.
Right. You're no longer decoding English, you're anticipating it.
That sounds like a huge leap forward.
It is. And here's a quick test for listeners. When someone says, "the thing is," do you expect an explanation to follow?
I do automatically,
That expectation means your brain understands conversational patterns.
which means you're thinking with English logic.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm excited for sign number 5 now.
The fifth sign is my favorite. English appears in your spontaneous thoughts.
Like random thoughts popping up in English?
Yes, maybe you suddenly think, "I need coffee," or "that was interesting," without trying.
That feels like the brain choosing English on its own.
That's exactly what's happening.
And that's probably the moment listeners realize something has changed.
Yes, English stops being an effort and starts being an option.
That's beautiful.
And if you're listening right now, notice something.
What should they notice?
You've been listening to English for quite a long time already.
True.
And if you're still comfortably following this conversation, your brain is already operating differently than when the episode began.
That's actually amazing to think about.
Because sustained understanding trains thinking automatically.
I want to ask listeners something directly.
Go ahead.
Right now, are you tired from listening, or does it feel easier than at the beginning?
That difference matters.
Because if it feels easier, your brain has warmed up to English.
Exactly. Listening endurance is another hidden sign of improvement.
Like mental stamina growing over time.
Yes, at first, English listening feels heavy. Later, it feels natural.
Almost effortless.
And here's a fascinating truth.
I'm ready.
Many learners quit right before this stage because they think they're not improving.
That's heartbreaking.
All right, Emma. Now we're entering one of the most important parts of today's conversation. The reason many learners understand English well, but suddenly freeze when it's time to speak.
I feel personally attacked already.
You're not alone. This happens to millions of learners. And here's the surprising truth. Most speaking problems are not language problems.
Then what are they?
They're thinking problems, specifically how your brain handles pressure in real time.
That makes sense, because when I practice alone, I can form sentences. But when someone looks at me and waits for an answer, everything disappears.
Exactly. And that reaction has a psychological explanation.
I'm curious.
Your brain has two main modes, practice mode and performance mode.
Okay, explain that.
Practice mode is relaxed. There's no judgment, no time pressure, no fear of mistakes.
Like listening to this podcast right now.
Perfect example. Your brain feels safe, so understanding flows naturally.
And performance mode?
Performance mode activates when someone expects an immediate response.
Like a real conversation.
Yes, suddenly your brain thinks, "I must be correct. I must not make mistakes."
And that pressure blocks thinking.
Exactly. The brain shifts energy from creativity to self-protection.
Which explains why simple sentences suddenly feel impossible.
Right. Your knowledge doesn't disappear. Access to it becomes slower.
That's such an important distinction.
Let me ask everyone listening something honest. Have you ever known exactly what you wanted to say, but couldn't say it fast enough?
I think almost every learner has experienced that.
That moment isn't about vocabulary. It's about hesitation created by fear of mistakes.
So the real enemy isn't lack of English, it's overthinking.
Precisely.
That actually feels relieving.
It should, because it means improvement doesn't require learning thousands of new words.
Then what does it require?
Training your brain to stay calm while thinking in English.
That sounds simple, but probably isn't easy.
True, but there's a powerful technique that helps.
I'm ready.
It's called permission to be imperfect.
That sounds philosophical.
Maybe a little, but it's extremely practical. Fluent speakers don't wait for perfect sentences. They speak with incomplete certainty.
That feels scary for learners, though.
Of course, but consider this. Children learning their first language make thousands of mistakes.
And nobody expects perfection from them.
Exactly. Mistakes are treated as progress, not failure.
Somewhere along the way, adult learners forget that rule.
Yes, adults try to sound perfect before they allow themselves to speak.
Which delays fluency.
Exactly.
I want to try a small imagination exercise with listeners.
Go ahead.
Imagine you're talking to a close friend who doesn't judge your English at all.
No pressure, no correction, just conversation.
Notice how much easier speaking feels in that situation.
That's because safety reduces mental resistance.
So confidence isn't created after fluency, it helps create fluency.
Beautifully said.
But Alex, how do listeners actually practice this mindset?
Through something surprisingly simple. Slow speaking practice.
Slow speaking?
Yes, many learners believe they must speak fast to sound fluent.
I definitely thought that.
But speed comes later. First comes clarity.
So slowing down actually helps thinking.
Exactly. When you slow your speech, your brain has time to build sentences directly in English instead of translating.
That makes so much sense.
Try this. Instead of saying a sentence quickly, pause naturally between ideas.
Like, yesterday, I watched a movie, and it was really interesting.
Perfect. Those pauses are not mistakes. They are thinking moments.
Native speakers pause too, don't they?
Constantly. Conversation is full of pauses, fillers, and restarts.
So fluency doesn't mean non-stop talking.
Not at all. Fluency means comfortable communication.
I feel like that definition changes everything.
It does, because now your goal isn't speed, it's connection.
That's powerful.
And here's another insight many learners discover late.
Tell me.
Listening and speaking improve together, but listening must feel safe first.
Meaning, if you can listen comfortably, speaking is already developing underneath.
Exactly. Speaking grows from understanding, just like plants grow from roots.
So today's listeners might already be building speaking abilities simply by following this conversation.
Very likely.
That's encouraging.
Let's check something with everyone listening right now.
Okay.
Notice your thoughts at this moment. Are you translating each sentence or just following us naturally?
If you're simply following along, your brain is practicing real-time English thinking.
And that practice matters more than memorizing grammar rules.
I think many people underestimate how powerful listening really is.
Absolutely. Consistent listening reshapes how your brain processes language.
But I feel like we're approaching a deeper level now.
We are.
Because understanding psychology and habits is helpful, but what actually happens inside the brain when someone starts thinking in English?
Excellent question.
Like, what changes neurologically?
Exactly. And the answer is fascinating. Your brain literally reorganizes connections between sound, meaning, and memory.
That sounds like science fiction.
It feels that way, but it's real neuroscience.
Okay, now I'm extremely curious.
In the next part of our conversation, we're going to explore what's happening inside your brain right now as you listen, and why long conversations like this podcast are one of the fastest ways to train English thinking.
That sounds like the deep explanation everyone has been waiting for.
It is. And if you stayed with us this long, you're already proving something important.
What's that?
Your brain is capable of following long English conversations.
Which means you're much closer to thinking in English than you might believe.
Exactly.
If you're enjoying this journey with us, make sure to like the video, subscribe to TalkEasyDaily, and share this episode with someone else learning English.
And stay with us for the final part, where we'll bring everything together and give you the exact steps to continue building your English thinking habit after this podcast ends. All right, Emma. Now we're going to explore something fascinating. What is actually happening inside your brain when you start thinking in English?
I've been waiting for this part because it almost feels mysterious. Like, how does the brain suddenly switch languages?
It feels mysterious, but neuroscience actually gives us a pretty clear explanation.
I love when science explains things that used to feel magical.
So imagine your brain as a huge network of roads.
Like a giant city map.
Exactly. Every thought you have travels along certain roads between different areas of the brain.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Your native language has been used since childhood, which means those language roads are extremely wide and smooth.
Like a 10-lane highway.
Perfect analogy. Thoughts travel there very quickly.
And English?
At first, English roads are tiny paths through the forest.
So the brain naturally prefers the highway.
Exactly, which is why translation happens. Your brain quickly goes from English to your native language because that highway is faster.
That makes so much sense.
But something interesting happens with repeated exposure.
The English road gets wider?
Yes, every time you understand English directly without translating, the brain strengthens that pathway.
So listening practice is literally physical training for the brain.
It is. Your brain is constantly adapting to what you use.
That means the more you listen to English conversations like this one,
The more your brain invests in those English pathways.
which eventually makes English thinking faster than translation.
Precisely.
That's actually incredible.
And here's something even more fascinating.
I'm ready.
The brain doesn't store language as isolated words.
Really?
Instead, it stores patterns.
Patterns.
Yes, combinations of sounds and meanings that frequently appear together.
Like phrases.
Exactly. Like, on the other hand, at the end of the day, the thing is,
Those phrases feel familiar instantly.
because your brain has heard them many times.
So the brain compresses them into single mental units.
Precisely. Instead of processing 5 separate words, it processes one idea.
That would make thinking much faster.
And that's one of the secrets of fluency.
Fluency is pattern recognition.
Yes, fluent speakers recognize thousands of patterns automatically.
That means learners shouldn't only memorize vocabulary,
Exactly. They should absorb phrases and patterns through listening.
which explains why podcasts and conversations are so powerful.
They expose your brain to real patterns used in real situations.
I feel like listeners might be experiencing this right now.
Very likely.
Because after listening for a long time, the rhythm of the conversation becomes familiar.
Yes, your brain begins predicting patterns.
And prediction speeds up understanding.
Exactly.
Let me ask listeners something interesting.
Go ahead.
Did you notice that your brain now expects us to continue the conversation naturally?
That expectation shows pattern learning.
Your mind knows how podcasts flow now.
Right. It recognizes the structure of discussion.
That's actually amazing when you think about it.
And this leads to one of the most powerful strategies for improving English thinking.
I'm curious.
Long listening sessions.
Longer than typical study time?
Yes, many learners listen to English for only 5 or 10 minutes.
That's barely enough time for the brain to warm up.
Exactly. The first few minutes of listening are like stretching before exercise.
The brain is adjusting to sounds and patterns.
Right, but after 20 or 30 minutes, something changes.
What happens?
Your brain stops resisting the language.
It relaxes into the rhythm.
Exactly. English becomes the temporary operating system.
That's such a cool way to describe it.